Each of us carries a unique light, an inner spark made of our experiences, wisdom, kindness, and creativity. It's not always loud or dazzling, but it's powerful. Sharing your light means showing up authentically, offering compassion when it's needed most, and using your gifts to uplift others. It's about choosing courage over comfort, generosity over silence, and hope over cynicism.
Hello, Pennsylvania and beyond. I'm Anna Lopez. This is my husband, Hector Lopez. And say hi.
Hi, everybody. Everybody doing?
Well, today I wanted to bring you a show because it's been weighing a little bit on my heart about some things that have been going on. And I wanted to share a little story about me as a Latina. I'm Puerto Rican and things that I've been feeling. And I wrote a little speech so that we could go through it because I'm in a time where I'm rebuilding my charisma and reclaiming my seat, right? Because I'm running for PA representative, and it's not an easy task at all. We got 42 days left in the campaign to actually fight for our democracy. We have leaders that are just a little bit too comfortable in their seats, and they haven't been working for the people. We've been struggling really, really tough within our budgets, right? Our taxes are going up. Food is getting way too expensive. Um, our schools need support. We all need stability in our county taxes, and medical expenses are just like way off the roof. We can't afford to um, have our medical treatments that we need. So we have to weigh this special. We have to do this little dance, right, Annie, where we can't we can't make as much, then our insurance will go down. If we will need to get a job that has really really good health insurance, but these jobs just don't have it,
Don't
right?
have it, no. It's hard to get a good job with good health insurance. It's hard.
I mean, I worked in Geisinger, and I know that the health insurance I had to pay for out of my pocket, these big, huge premiums, and then I even had co-pays. So, like to go to, like, was it like urgent care was like $60 just to see the urgent care,
Mm-hmm.
and that means I had to work at least 2 hours even to see a doctor for that one time, and that's not talking about like the prescriptions or anything after that. So, I mean, we've been really struggling, and I know a lot of Pennsylvanians have also. Um, so let me just share with you this little story of what I've been like feeling lately because I've been out there now, campaigning for the PA representative seat in the House of the District of 115. This is a story I never spoke out loud before because most of us we learn to bury our strengths under silence. But I believe God has asked me to speak right now, not just for myself, but for the women who carry the same hidden weight. For most of my life, well, yeah, for most of my life, I believe I had to earn every inch of space I occupied. Growing up as a Spanish woman, I watched women in my family work harder than anyone else. Have you seen that in your family?
Yes, they work hard. Spanish women work hard. They do.
And without receiving help or respect or even room to breathe. Like my mother, she struggled and I watched her beg for assistance that just never came. And that image planted something inside of me, a rule that I didn't know I was following at the time. Um, and rules like do everything alone, take help from no one, never depend on anybody, ask for nothing. So as a peer representative going there now, I have to ask for help. I need to depend on other people. I need to, do things and not alone because I cannot do this alone. I cannot run for Pennsylvania representative for the House seat in the District 115 alone for sure. So, but it did make me become very fiercely independent, right? Like almost without knowing it. The independence made me strong, smart, resourceful, but it also made me believe that I must, stay small in rooms where power lives, where because my subconscious learned that asking for help, introducing myself boldly, or claiming my space could end in rejection or abandonment, right? And recently, as I said, I began entering these political rooms, and the kind with like polished tables and uh, this quiet power, and I felt something unexpected. Not loud racism, not outright sexism, but something more subtle, where it's socially discreet racism. like a coldness that you feel without words. Like like someone saying like, who are you to be here? Right? I see the body language, the glances, the silent judgment, the discomfort in a white coated hierarchy where a Latina woman does not come in seeking validation, but I come with a purpose, right? And I'll be honest, sometimes I feel small for a moment, and not because I lack experience or intelligence or mission, but because those rooms activate old wounds that I never knew were still bleeding out. And it's not that I lack charisma or that my charisma was, you know, my charisma was raised in the street, in the grit, in the kitchen, in the schools, in the car, in the struggle. You know, it wasn't in the ballroom. I didn't grow up in a ballroom and this privilege that is out there. My charisma is not polite. It's a lived charisma. So when I come out sometimes I'll say things and it's just like very bold and straight and not sugar coated. I'm not really that type for that political theater type way of speaking and bringing myself into a room. I ask these very tough questions all the time. And what I feel that God is teaching me right now is like charisma is not performance. Charisma is presence. And this presence is not about being loud, it's about being grounded. And grounded means that I walk in as if I already belong without needing permission. And that's what I've been doing. So these people feel so intimidated by me and they feel you know, like, who is this Latina woman? And because we like as Latina women, Latina families, Latino workers, Latino creators, and Latino mothers, we're not political accessories. We shouldn't be those accessories. You see that there's some people there that go to parties with other politicians to just be like an accessory to them, like if they were a bag or something that they can be, they can be played with. So we are actually the backbone of this Commonwealth. We deserve representation, economic stability, fair wages, fair development. We deserve better and safer schools and mental health resources and policies that reduces stress so we can live a healthier, fuller, family-centered life, right? Latinos in Pennsylvania are rising in population, in business creation, in academic achievement, and in workforce contribution, but not in political power. We have leaders, we have innovators, we also have healers, we have organizers, we have talent as Latinos, and we have purpose. What we are missing is infrastructure and caucus power. Not because we are incapable, but it's because we keep trying to enter rooms as individuals, when the truth is Latinos never ever were meant to enter alone. So we as our community people, we thrive in unity, we thrive in collective lifting, we thrive in belonging. The political world has not made room for us at all. So I'm saying today, we will build the room. I will build that room for us. And I'm running for this legislative seat because I want to create laws to help our families breathe, less financial stress, more housing stability, fair taxes, stronger healthcare access, community development that is not exploitive, schools that include mental wellness and cultural belonging, and economic tools that honor those who raise children, care for the elderly, and build community every single day. But more than that, I want to build a movement for Latinos across Pennsylvania, a real movement, one that rebuilds the state Latino caucus, that ignites a local Latino caucus right here in Monroe County that supports Latino candidates, Latino leaders, and Latino public servants, who prepares young Latinos to enter public life with confidence, mentorship, funding, and belonging. I want to teach political literacy, access, and emotional resilience. Okay, because representation is not a luxury. Representation is medicine. Representation reduces stress. Representation builds identity. Representation tells our children politics is not for someone else, it's for us. I want to say directly to my Latina sisters listening today, if you ever felt small in a room where the power felt white and quiet and coded, if you ever doubted introducing yourself because you sensed dismissal in someone's eyes, if you ever to overperform just to be treated fairly, if you ever lost your confidence and thought it meant weakness, please hear me. Your discomfort is not inadequacy. It is ancestry. You are entering rooms your mother and grandmother were not allowed to enter. Your nervousness is not a lack of confidence, it's a spiritual expansion. We are breaking generational ceilings that were built before we were born. And that means sometimes pressure, grief, imposter syndrome, old trauma activation, emotional exhaustion, because it also means historic transformation, cultural presence, a divine assignment, and a spiritual calling. I do not enter political rooms to impress anyone. I enter because my community deserves a voice at the table. And God chose my journey, including my hardships, my injury, my motherhood, my survival, my leadership, to prepare me for this path. And I am not alone. I am part of a lineage of Spanish and Latino women who worked without applause, survived without support, prayed without recognition, held communities together when systems failed them. We are not trying to take anything from anyone. We are trying to reclaim the dignity of our ancestors that they have earned for us. And I want every Latina listening to know this is your time. Politics is not an elite sport. It's the community stewardship. You do not have to mimic anyone else's charisma. You only need to walk in your lived truth and with such a calm presence that we do not wait for permission. We show up, we serve, and we stay. Together, we can do more than elect one Latina candidate like myself. We can build a Latino political infrastructure in Pennsylvania, a caucus that lifts Latino leaders statewide, local teams and chapters that identify, support, and nurture future Latino candidates, cultural training for navigating trauma-triggered environments, in emotional resilience workshops and mentorships for young Latinos, economic advocacy for family-centered policies, a unified network where we are never entering rooms alone again. This movement is not symbolic, it's structural, and it begins not with anger but with healing, dignity, clarity, and purpose. And I want you with me, not because I need followers, but because Pennsylvania needs leadership from our community, like teachers, nurses, ministers, students, mothers, founders, immigrants, workers, artists, healers, entrepreneurs, elders, veterans, youth, and yes, politicians born from lived reality, not privilege. We deserve economic stability. We deserve political seats. We deserve workplaces that respect our cultural presence. We deserve mental health support rooted in belonging, not assimilation. We deserve policies that reduce stress so families can live healthier, calmer, more meaningful lives. Family is sacred, and every system that disables families, like taxes, wages, unsafe development, housing exploitation, poor healthcare access, is a system that must be reformed. That is why I run. Not for me, for us. For my daughter Trinity, Matthew, my son, for my husband Hector, and for your children, and for your elders, for the future we deserve. I want every Latina woman hearing me today to know your story matters. Your presence is power. Your leadership is needed. Your path does not disqualify you, it qualifies you. And when the room feels cold, I want you just to remember your calling did not come from them, it came from a much higher power. So today I'm just campaigning for a legislative seat, but I'm building a movement that says we are here, we're capable, we are rising, and we are taking our rightful seats, not as guests, but as builders of the future. Now, there are many things that I'm working for, right, honey? You've been seeing me work like day and night, right? Like just creating these solutions.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I know it's been hard for you, hasn't it?
Yeah. The larger for the better. Starts for the better. For the people, healthcare, for all the things that you need to survive in life. Yeah. So,
Yeah, I know. I haven't been there so much to hold our family together, and I just want to commend you for doing that, for
okay.
taking that seat. Thank you so much for doing all that you do. Okay, honey.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much for taking that as a Latino man. I appreciate
Amen.
you.
Amen.
So some of the things I've been working on that I wanted to bring to you is the new future of Pennsylvania, the healthcare stability and affordability that I'm looking at. Now, Pennsylvania families deserve a healthcare that is affordable, reliable, and accessible, right? We've been talking about that. And expanding Medicaid to include full adult dental coverage, I think is one of the number ones, right? We see those pictures on the internet of like making fun of Pennsylvanians with like the messed up teeth and all that. I think that's hilarious because it's like everyone can advertise this, but how about bringing a solution so that we could get full dental coverage? Because I mean, what does Medicaid in Pennsylvania give you? Like,
Nothing. We all need dental care, for sure.
yes, it's just as important as our medical care because a lot of and maybe one day we could get a doctor to come talk to us about it to give more detailed information. But dental care is so important to your health. If you have a toothache, right, that like hurts like hell, you can't focus, anything. It's actually you could catch an infection and go through all your body and poison your blood, and
Mm-hmm.
it's something that's really dire to it. With our dental care. It's just wrong that we have our teeth and they're messed up and they're broken and all they can do is pull it out. They can't save the tooth. There's no root canals. There's no, there's only this preventive care. But as an adult, something unfortunate happens to you and then you're stuck with this type of coverage that doesn't help you. Your teeth already, have come to some type of point and then Pennsylvania says, oh, go get it yourself. Um, and then you have these companies out here that don't even offer that dental care that you could afford to go get. Also, keeping rural hospitals open and fully staffed because our hospitals, as you heard, like through the pandemic and other things that they've been closing down, there's not access to hospitals and medical care. I want to require large high profit corporations to provide no cost health care to our families. They make so much money off us. You remember, like just helping my knee, it was like 55,000 for that one knee operation. You know how much profit they made? Not even the doctor made that money. That they charged him. How much did they pay him to fix my knee? But they charged insurance $55,000. He didn't make $55,000 in that thing, right?
So they're getting rich afterwards.
If they can get him rich off of his skills, helping me, and meanwhile everyone is in disarray and not having access to healthcare. I think that's wrong. That's wrong. I mean, I don't know. You, if you don't see that there's something wrong with that, you have to go see Hope on the show. I want to allow small business workers to receive Medicaid so local employees can compete. All right, this is very important for small businesses because small businesses are having challenges all across Pennsylvania. And oh my God, the flag. I know it's really a shame. Um, uh, they're having a really hard time competing with these corporations. And if we give our local workers Medicaid automatically, no matter how much they make, for small business workers, it will help our small businesses. And reducing prescription drug costs through transparency and the PBM reform. I want to expand maternal care, behavioral health, and telehealth services because they are much more affordable to us, right? Like when you see a therapist, I see therapist, I have mine, I go right online, and it's cheap, it's great, it's accessible. I don't have to worry about gas and bringing me from this way to that way because the nearest therapist is like an hour away. If there's even room to see one. This gives every family a fair chance at good health, no matter what their income or their zip code is. And another thing is education, youth investment. Right, every child deserves a strong start. Right, my education plan. We focus on first school funding across Pennsylvania. This is more counselors, mental health staff, and prevention programs. Our teacher workforce pipelines, our recruitment and loan forgiveness programs must be changed, right? Because our teachers, they deserve this loan forgiveness program in our systems. I could go on a lot about that because our teachers do so much work in helping form our children's education, their discovery, and even writing a book about how the whole system has to change too. I want to strengthen our special education support and transportation. I want to expand career trade and technical partnerships for our youth because not everything has to go to college. Not everyone has to go to college, and not everything has to be directed. Oh, college bound and all this. Well, I mean, we need our people to help us with our buildings. And I'm working on that because Pennsylvania's working families, have to keep the state running, right? They deserve dignity and fair treatment. So I proposed a 22 $22.50 an hour wage standard for high profit corporations. So it's a 6 weeks guaranteed of paid leave for workers. I want a state supported PA FMLA with 60 to 90% wage replacement, which you guys know FMLA here in Pennsylvania, how that works. It's a huge nightmare. I mean, people, we need to, um, like my daughter, she's having the baby, right? That she has to take off to give birth to, to Jasper, and her FMLA, there's no wage coverage at all. She's been working for forever. She's working now. She's almost giving birth, and there's no FMLA and PA at all. We rely on the federal mandate. And I mean, and let me keep on. I'll keep on with that because it's not fair. It's not fair. And the representatives sitting there just they're not even proposing this. They're not talking about it. It's never been proposed in any type of bill ever. Not even to talk about it in a committee. I mean, nothing. They're just dead weight. Uh, that's it. They're just not talking about it, and it doesn't matter which party. I'm not a party person. This is both party, all parties, everybody, all elected officials are not talking about this at all. How about a healthcare support for small business employees? Again, like small businesses are always being forgotten, always. Our childcare workforce. We need investment in stronger worker protections, a fair scheduling, and corporate accountability. Pennsylvania is built for corporations, not for people at all. This agenda really respects workers and strengthens families, like the family rights and community strength that I'm working on. Families are the foundation of communities, right? Like I was just saying, my plan protects them through everything. To have a strong pregnancy and a family status with anti-discrimination laws, job protection, and flexible scheduling for caregivers, better access to affordable and high-quality childcare, okay, stronger domestic violence response systems and a shelter funding, okay, expanding community-based mental health and recovery programs, and policies to keep families safe, supported, and economically stable. Okay, every family deserves security, dignity, and opportunity, don't they? So together we can build this new future for Pennsylvania. And I'm running to give working families a voice and protect our communities and make Pennsylvania a place where every person, every parent, every worker, child, and senior can thrive. Um, Now, I know I've been talking a lot, and I really wanted my husband to come and share with us this thing because Latinos are really suffering in Pennsylvania and around our whole country with ICE and being picked up by by agents in like plain clothes and just the frailty of it, the painfulness of children screaming while their parents are being taken and it's something Latinos are facing, and it's very hard to see and to work through. But we really need some solution to it. But I wanted to play this clip just so because a lot of people are saying, "Oh, this is not true. This is not happening in our block," and that's a lie. Like, don't believe it. Don't believe the hype. Right? This is really help. This is really going on. And I just wanted to share that clip real quick before we continue talking about ICE and what we feel as Latinos we should be doing.
Iowa being arrested by ICE agents in plain clothes.
Are you okay? Then where's his cop?
The worker, identified as Jorge Gonzalez Ochoa, can be seen pinned to the ground as the agents ready to taser while he was screaming for help.
Gentlemen, who are you with? Who are you with? Federal agents. Who? ICE? Wow,
In a statement to CNN affiliate KCRG, ICE said that Gonzalez Ochoa is, quote, a 27-year-old criminal illegal alien from Colombia who is under criminal investigation for fraud, and that the agents executed the arrest professionally and in full compliance with the law.
What's your name? Say your name. Say your name. Jorge Eliezer Gonzalez. Say your name.
CNN has reached out to ICE for comment on this situation.
So you see, it's not fake news. This is real. This is happening in our community to our Latino people and to everyone who's brown. We have this Jamaican woman in New York, right? We were watching this other clip. She was cursing out ICE about taking her family member, and she's just telling them off. This is like an inspiring clip of someone just being angry, being able to exercise their freedom to speak. But you've been so much into seeing a lot of that, right, going on. How do
Right.
you feel about your community being vandalized like that?
It's hard for everybody. But like it's brown skin, and I mean, there's some people from other countries that are light skinned, but mostly dark skinned people it's happening to. And now they're saying if you're gonna go take a flight anywhere out of the country, they're gonna if you are Spanish or you don't have paper something anyway. You're not right. Don't take the airplane because they're gonna tell ICE that you're getting on the airplane. They're gonna stop you. So it's best for you. You're gonna have to see to drive it anywhere because they're gonna plane. They're gonna have your name and where you're from, and they're gonna make sure that if you're not right, papers are not right, they're gonna arrest you in the airport. So please be safe. Okay.
And I think one of the gratifying things is when you told me about that I guess that rally that was happening in the Pocono and up in Pocono Mountain right near ShopRite, and you were telling me about that.
Oh yeah, Trump. Yeah. Well, it was a rally and it was crazy. People just hate Trump. They just hate Trump. No matter where you go, there people hate Trump. No matter what they were. That's the way he could say it. His way of being. You just hate him. His way of being. His coolness, evil ways, his lies, all that's going on with Trump. So we all know that. Even though people love Trump, they know he's lying. Even though that they know he's lying. Even though they love Trump, I don't know what the reason they love him, but they know themselves. They're not stupid. They're educated people. They're educated. They know he's lying. So it's just I don't understand it myself mentally. I don't know why they like him. Some people like him, but each his own. Everybody has their own mentality, their own way of thinking. But the cruelty that he's passing on to us is amazing. It's amazing. It's like you don't see that when they had people locked up being abused. Like I think it was Israel, something like that, were getting abused and camps and all that. That's what it feels like right now with Trump. It's just like that, like always, where it used to be. And I was next. Could be Puerto Rico's got, you know, I was next.
You know, it's some, it's something really hard. I know we we were going back and forth with Chance about affordability and it's private. It's on federal land, and Pennsylvania is not doing anything about it. There's been human rights violations there,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no. We have our legislators are not giving power to anybody or anything to help the situation. So we have people that there was just someone that died in that facility, right? That they
Yeah,
had
he hung himself, hung himself in cell, or they say he hung himself. They're not sure. They say he hung himself, but that family believe that they didn't hang themselves. Would never do that. So we don't know. Nobody ever gonna know because so much lies going around, so much secret stuff going around. So everybody's loyal to Trump. So and that's the thing about it. People getting murdered, people getting disappeared from the country. You know, people don't say nothing because they're scared of Trump. They're scared what's going to happen to them. You know, and that's what it is. That's what it is right now. So I say, God bless America. God bless those people that are suffering. I hope life changes. Trump gets out of office. Somebody else with a good heart can be in office and you know trust. You can trust in him. The next person. No lies. No lies. No. Nobody getting beat up. No family get separated. And none of that. It's just down to somebody truthful and with a good heart, with a very good heart. You know. So like I say,
yes, it's really hard. I do have an immigration defense, human rights protection, and federal property oversight. That I have because we have 2,572 federal buildings with 616,896 acres of land, of federal land here. I want taxation, licensing, and human rights certifications. I want fines and utility regulations on them. This act imposes some of the strongest civil penalties in the nation. I'm looking to $25,000 a day for transparency failures, $250,000 per operational violation. I want $500,000 per condition violation, $5 million per severe human rights violation. This is triple damages in civil suits. I want utility shutoffs for violations. I want mandatory National Guard activation during emergencies. And if a private contractor or facility detains a U.S. citizen, even for a millisecond, it triggers automatic emergency enforcement, including utility suspension, guard activation, a PIDOC investigation, and possible imminent domain seizure. Okay, this act ensures that Pennsylvania, not private corporations or federal contractors, control what happens on our soil. It protects the residents and upholds human rights and constitutional limits on government power. And I want Pennsylvanians to really understand what I'm trying to say. You can always find me in Anna Lopez for PA115.com. You can always reach me through the email there on my website. You can see more of my policies. And I just wanted to thank you, honey, for coming and being my partner here. I know I spoke a lot, but thank you for sharing. I know it's something hard to talk about and work with, especially what's happening with Latinos and just everyone born is brown. I mean, we had this Jamaican families are taken, just so much. I just wanted to thank everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in. Tune into Hope's show. She's coming on soon, and I wish everyone a great week until we meet again next Monday, 4 o'clock. Thanks for hearing me out. You guys have a wonderful day. Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
God bless.
God bless. God bless everyone.